What's up, YouTube? I'm Z, and this channel shows you the world through my lens. Okay, so I want to take a little bit of a break. As I've read in your comments, I appreciate you guys acknowledging that I have started off with some really deep stuff, really heavy hitters. I've been feeling beat up from my REN journey so far, but also like very enriched. This is a deep thinking dude. He's tackling subjects and concepts that are difficult to tackle, that people feel uncomfortable to even talk about. So it's been an interesting journey so far. But a lot of people said that I could get a little bit more information, a little bit more know-how on REN, who he is as a person, and apparently he talks about some stuff, maybe even reactors on this. So I'd love to see what this is about. This is, I guess, when he hit 1 million subscribers. It looks like this video is about a year old. Congratulations, man. He's at 2 million. That's crazy. That's crazy. Guys, my goal is that if I can hit 50K this summer, I don't ask for subscribers. If you guys have watched my 4 videos so far on REN, I think this is number 5. I never say, if you like the video, subscribe. I don't do that, okay? Because for me, it's like, if I do a good job, if I do my job and I do what I'm supposed to do, and you want to watch more, I know you're going to press the button. And if I don't, then I probably don't deserve it. And asking it is not going to make a difference. That's just how I roll. So anyways, I just thought I'd mention I do have that goal. But yeah, that whatever. Let's go. 1 million subscribers, defining success. Let's see what Ren's got to say.
I want to keep this short and sweet because I wrote something that I want to share with you. But first of all, I just want to say how grateful I am. I've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube, which is a flipping huge milestone.
That's amazing.
I wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while.
Also, to put in perspective, because I do look at people's subscriber counts, like in terms of artists, the UK artist pool, aside from like the pop, so like when you're talking about like the Ed Sheeran and like artists like that, the subscriber count is typically much lower, specifically for rappers. So like the biggest rappers only have like, several million. And I say only because like the big artists in the US have like tens of millions. So that's just like, to put into perspective, for him to hit 1 million or 2 million as an artist coming out of the UK, and specifically this genre, is a huge milestone. He should be incredibly proud.
Everyone who supported my music over the years, whether you're newly on board or have been here for a while, I wanted to say thank you to the YouTube reaction community who have gotten behind my stuff in a big way and really helped me reach this goal. So thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to read this passage that I wrote about success. It's too much for me to remember right now, so bear with me. But
bro, that's so cool though. I don't know if I've seen artists say something like that, because a lot, like I'm sure you hear reactors say this all the time. Like, we don't, like, I get all these views, but like I obviously don't make the money that those views would be worth. A lot of the monetization actually goes back to the record label, and then obviously the artists get their percentages and stuff. So that's like a really cool thing for him to acknowledge. And I got something to say about that. I'll say it at the end.
yeah. Success to me means that I have a responsibility that transcends me. If I have a platform where people are paying attention, then I feel like it's my duty to make that count. It's far more important than my aspirations with music and what I could personally gain. There's a saying that stuck with me recently, which was, a rising tide lifts all ships.
Ooh.
Somehow, by finding
I was trying not to pause this, but a lot of y'all have been commenting that, so I just want to say, now I know why y'all have been commenting that.
stuck with me recently, which was, a rising tide lifts all ships. Somehow, by finding success for myself has meant that I can find success for the people around me, and that makes me feel very rich. I'm in a very strange position right now where I owe much of my success to the most destructive force in my life, which has been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy.
Wow,
Creating art, which...
That is, like, even the way he wrote this is crazy for him to connect those things that way. If you don't mind, I'm just going to...
brought me the most pain. physical and mental illness to the most destructive force in my life,
So this right
which has
here.
been the turbulence of my physical and mental illness. The thing that has by far brought me the most pain has been a source of constant inspiration, which ironically led to creations which brought me the most joy. Creating art which means something to somebody else and can potentially be a companion to somebody else in the dark justifies my own pain, and I desperately needed that to be justified. There are a lot of people alive today who live in the dark. It's a place that I'm very familiar with. In the peak of my health problems, I was severely underweight. All my meals had to be restricted and blended, and I was so tired that I couldn't participate in life. I couldn't socialize, I couldn't watch films, I couldn't read. My bones constantly hurt. Even standing in the shower was excruciating and exhausting. And this went on for years, with no answers. Nobody could have ever convinced me during that time that my pain and suffering would be a source for something good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could
That's tough, man.
good, because it felt insidious. Nobody could have ever convinced me that something constructive can come from hurting every day. But I'm here to tell you that if you are hurting every day, don't be afraid. One thing I know to be a constant law of the universe, is that life is inconsistent. Life is beautiful and life is hideous. Life is kind and life is cruel. Dancing inside this dichotomy and inconsistency makes me know that you won't hurt forever, whether that comes from resolution of what you're going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever.
This is very well written. And I don't mean to sound so surprised. I mean, obviously, considering how he can write his music, you shouldn't be surprised that he's writing this like, you know, kind of appreciation speech or monologue at this level.
Going through or acceptance of where you are. You won't hurt forever.
Wow.
You don't know yet whether or not your pain conceals gold. It definitely conceals wisdom, and it's definitely a catalyst for filling you with empathy. So stand strong, my friends, and don't let the darkness consume you, because once you know the dark and become intimate with it, you become very capable of wielding the light. You could be instrumental for changing this world for the better. There's nothing humble about shrinking or doubting yourself because you are large. You can be ferocious and you could be magnificent. For the medical industry, who too often let people fall through the cracks, it's your duty to do better. For the people living in the light, who have either stepped out of their shadow or have never had to walk beside it, it's your responsibility to put out untainted love. Our own greed, desire to ferociously expand, and decisions rooted in self-interest can benefit ourselves in a material sense, but can be very destructive to the hive and the world around us, ultimately hurting ourselves. So we really must consider that if we're going to step into a bright future. As humans, we have an incredible potential, and it would be a shame to throw it away. So community, humanity, and changing our relationship with the natural world so it leans more towards homeostasis must be a priority number one. If you're watching this and there's a knot tied up in your stomach with bitterness, anger, or hatred for your fellow human being, be with it, feel it, understand it, express it, and then let it go. You're hurting. Give yourself love, forgive yourself, and then project that love outwards, and the anger will pass.
You know why I really like... I'll come back to it.
We have a decision in every interaction to tilt the world towards heaven or hell, towards Jannah or Jahannam, utopia or dystopia, and some people's ideas of heaven will be another's image of hell. So tread carefully, but treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts. Thank you to 1 million people inside this rich tapestry for the opportunity for me to try and spread my own vision of what I believe to be good. And thank you for justifying my pain. Thank you. I love you.
We love you too, man. I've only just met you, but you seem like a really awesome person.
But treat those differences with respect. Tapestries are made beautiful because of the variety in the sum of their parts.
So I love the place that he put this, because of what um, what was before this and what follows after. Uh, for him to make, so again, we had a religious reference. A number of you were commenting that he is agnostic. So like, for him to um, acknowledge that, he said heaven, hell, um, Jannah, Jahannam, and utopia, dystopia. So kind of acknowledging that the concepts are there, but it could be different depending on your beliefs and whatever. Um, and for him to like obviously before that we were talking about getting the world back to homeostasis and like having anger and hatred towards each other and trying to let it go. So there's a lot of positivity in this, and then he brings it all together into this tapestry analogy, this tapestry metaphor, and the beauty is in the sum of all the parts, right? Um, and for him to then use that to talk about the million subscribers as the tapestry for like what he's trying to do right now. But obviously the tapestry then works both ways. It was also working for the world and how we are all different parts that together make the world. And it is up to us to make it something beautiful and not something sad and horrible. And unfortunately, I think, a lot of people said that greed is something that he touches on a lot and it irks him. And we know that greed is like the source of, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I'm just going to say a lot of the world's problems. And it's horrible. Like some really, really terrible, horrible things happen every single day, right next to really beautiful things happening. And that's tough. That's a tough thing to acknowledge. So anyways, we could the stuff that he talked about, we could probably go off on a tangent and do like an hour long, like this will be like episode 1 of the podcast, guys. I'm going to talk for 1 hour and break down what he talked about. But I want to say that if I could give some appreciation back, somebody put me on to the fact that because he appreciates reactors, he has like a link set up with his like distribution, Airtable or whatever, that you can submit your reactions and they can release the copyrights. Guys, like this is such a cool thing, especially for like a small creator. Like I just want to tell you the effect that it's had. Okay. So like I get a decent amount of views. I probably like for my size, I'm a 30K, now 40K subscriber channel. Okay. So I'm not a huge channel, but I do okay. My views are like, I think I do like, 200,000 plus views a month, something like that, which could earn decent amount of money. But as I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing all reactors talk about, we get hit with copyright, and I don't make money off of like easily 80%. I think it's closer to 90%, but if I was going to be like, try to be neutral about it, I'm going to say 80% of the music, the money goes back to the record labels and the artists and all that stuff. And that's cool, but it's just like, they made the music, that's cool. But to not acknowledge that this niche of media plays a part in growing artist stock and growing appreciation and, fan enthusiasm for an artist's music, I think is inaccurate. Okay. So like just this little thing that he's doing, because that money could go back to him. He could just do what everybody else does and be like, well, it's my music. So when you get views, it goes back to him. Right. Like that's what happens with everybody else. But literally just like the 4 tracks that I've done, like my revenue for this month has tripled. Like I'm tripled. Because literally every other video that I put out that wasn't REN, copyright. I'm making nothing from it, right? And like there's maybe a couple that sneak through or get hit later, so I made some money from it. But that's the reality, so just this little gesture that he did for a small guy like me, is a huge gesture. Like it tripled my revenue. I've only been reacting to REN for like what 2 weeks, so uh, I'm extremely grateful that there is some, like, not even for the money side, but just like the acknowledgement and the appreciation that he gave. It means a lot. Like I put a lot of videos out. I do try to put effort in. I don't want to be one of those people that just records myself and nods my head. And there's an audience for it. There's millions and millions of views of people doing that. So obviously some people want to see that. For me, I want to make sure that when I'm doing this, I'm putting in effort, I'm putting in energy, I'm putting in my thoughts, my experiences, and try to make something new in a collaborative way with the artists and with the music that I'm listening to. So anyways, I end up going on tangents anyways, even when I say that I don't want to. But thank you guys so much. If you are still here at the end, I just want to say I appreciate all the comments helping me out in choosing what to do next. When it comes to choosing what to do next, some people were saying that maybe I should choose something that's a little bit lighter before I do Money Game. I would love a lighter suggestion, and I know there were chock full of suggestions in the other videos, but let's do this. Let's have you guys comment on this video, suggest what you would want to see me do that's a little bit lighter than what I've been doing before I get into Money Game. And I know a lot of people talked about the Cujo beatdown. There's some sort of beef or something as well. Guys, I'm definitely interested in finding out about that. So comment down below, let me know. If you guys are still here, I appreciate you so much, and I hope to see you guys next time.